All right, guys, are the foreclosures going up? Guys, what is the status of the real estate market as of December of 2023? We're going to do a full in-depth breakdown just from the data that I have, as well as the experiences I have actually working these leads on the ground every single day. These foreclosures, probates, and highly distressed leads. Are we having a lot of them, guys? Are a lot of people going into foreclosure? And then what can you do as a real estate investor to capitalize on this and actually make something of it? So let's get into all that right now. So guys, my name is Dan Kohan. I'm a wholesaler, investor, and flipper. Primarily look for off-market deals. I do buy a lot of them for myself and put them into our portfolio, but we wholesale or flip the rest of them. We do single families and multifamilies. And every single day, guys, we are pulling fresh new foreclosure data straight from the county recorders every day in the auction website. So this is literally as fresh as it could get. I know a lot of you are wondering, what is kind of the state of the real estate market? Like, are things going to crash? Pricing collapsing? A super buyer's market? And I'm here to answer all those questions. I'm in the Kansas City market, which is a relatively even keel market in terms of the highs and lows. I think it's probably going to be indicative of the entire Midwest and, kind of the state of most of the markets. As I would say that Kansas City is definitely pretty low price relatively. It's pretty value oriented compared to most markets, but doesn't have as many of the up and down price swings as some of your coastal or higher priced markets. Guys, our median home price is about $250,000 or so. That's kind of your bread and butter house. Very affordable for most people. But what we're seeing, guys, every day is that I personally don't think that the real estate market is collapsing. There is definitely a shortage of foreclosure leads, which means that there's really not very many foreclosures happening, guys. In the main counties in the Kansas City area, we have about 1 million people. Really we're only getting maybe a handful a day, maybe half a dozen to 10 people a day that are even getting notices, guys. And of those, I would say very few of them are ever getting to the foreclosure sale. Really the only people that are even really risk of a foreclosure sale is really those that either they're past, they're dead, and there's nobody cares about the house and there's nothing that they can do. They just let it go into foreclosure. Guys, right now there's lots of investors coming in and like myself buying up these properties right now in foreclosure. Really the only reason that someone is going to ever get foreclosed at this point is if they passed away or dead and there's nobody that cares about the property, or unable to get the beneficiary get in contact with them and get into agreement with them before the foreclosure sale. There's a few that I've door knocked and learned that person's passed away, and so it's highly likely that those are going to get foreclosed, as there's simply nobody that cares about them and there's nobody to talk to even get the loan reinstated. So those are really either those or deals where there's very little equity. Those are a lot of times houses that were purchased recently in the last 1, 2, 3 years, because the market has pretty much stayed level, if not gone down maybe slightly since then. And so some of those houses that have almost zero equity, or perhaps people even overpaid for them, and they have the payments are way too high, like some of the recent ones in 2021, 22, where their mortgages might be 5, 6, 7% are getting foreclosed, and really it's impossible to do sub 2 on them, and it's really hard for somebody to buy them at the auction just because the loan balance is so high. So those are really the only ones that are getting foreclosed right now. Either that, or the person's just got their head in the sand and they don't they don't get any help. And because, guys, I'm trying. There's a lot of other guys like me that are trying to get these people out of foreclosure, whether it be buying the property or getting them the resources to reinstate those loans. So really, in terms of a foreclosure epidemic, we are far, far away from that, at least here, because anything that is getting foreclosed generally has either a lot of equity or very low payment. So it's possible to take it sub 2, and there's a ton of interest, ton of buyers right now, and a lot of capital on the sidelines, guys. Really the scarcest thing is still the deals. In terms of there being some kind of big crisis and that a bunch of people are defaulting, it's just not the reality right now. People that are defaulting, as there always will be from death, debt, divorce, job loss, things like that, those deals are being quickly bought up by investors like myself almost as soon as they, we can get in contact with the sellers. So that's kind of the market update right now. I don't think that, in terms of where rates are going to go, it seems like the Fed is basically stopped raising rates, and it seems like the attitude right now is to keep them level. They may go down in the future, but it seems like they've stopped raising them. So, right now it's very difficult to buy property and for its cash flow, even at deep discounts, just with commercial rates being around that 8.5%, 7.5%, depending on where you're getting your loans. But, a lot of these properties that we're keeping, we're making a big win on the buying it and burning it with all the equity that we have in the property. And then that renter is basically just allowing us to break even on the payment and expenses for the property. And, our plan is hopefully to hold them for long enough to where rents will go up and hopefully rates will go down and we can refinance. If not, we do have long-term debt in place where we can hold on to that property. And if we do have to sell it, we can easily do that just because we have so much equity in the property that we can definitely sell out of that property if need be. So guys, that's your market update for today, December of 2023, guys. Check in for more videos. Please like, subscribe. My name is Dan Kohan, and I will see you in the next video.